Greetings in the name of Yahuwah and his son Yahusha HaMashiach. My name is Malak Shalomo, and this is a quick update on a live trade I'm doing on FTM. So this is, I'm switching to doing some intraday trading on some cryptocurrencies just to demonstrate that it's very possible to trade cryptocurrencies, right? So let me jump into this real quick. All right, so this is FTM 5-minute chart. Let's see. The date today is the 12th of February. It's approximately 5 minutes past 5, 4 minutes past 5. So let's see here, right? Let's get a little context first. Let's talk about the trend. So we have a broken uptrend, right? Right, so the trend broke up here, broke down from the upper VWAP line, which is the red line, had retests, lower highs, right? Had some consolidation on the breakdown, false breakdown, held support at VWAP, annual anchored VWAP, and now we pushed up again up here, kind of retesting this zone here, like where we broke down from. So now we started having these rejections right here at this level, right? So those rejections right now, these recent rejections are happening from this level right here, right? Retesting that level. So let's see here. Let's turn on the central flow pivots. All right, so looking at the central flow pivot setup on, let's see, this was the 10th of February right here. This is the central flow pivots right here, the CPR range. This was a lower value from this day, right? So we have a lower value relationship, and we had a retest of the pivot level up here. Price got some support, retested that, rejected, moved down to annual anchored VWAP where we got support, sideways movement, break back up. And on this day, let's see what we have here. On the 11th of February, we had a overlapping lower value relationship. Let me make sure. Let me just make this a little bigger. Right, so we have an overlapping lower value relationship. Let me just make a quick adjustment here so I could see this better. Okay, right. So we actually had a lower value relationship on the 11th of February. Let's see here. This is the top central pivot. This is the bottom central pivot. That's the pivot line right there. And this is the top central pivot, which is the lowest level in this range on, let's see, on the 11th. But the session changes at, let's see, 10:45, the session change. So it's the same day, but different session, right? So let's see here, take this off. Right, so lower value relationship on this day, right? Different session. You see, this is the bottom range right here, the bottom central pivot, and it's lower than the current this central range high, right? So lower value relationship, and let's see, price action bounced off the pivot, right? Hit a high up here. Pulled back, tested the pivot again, pushed up, right? And made a higher low, right? So on this day now, which is the current day, we have a higher value relationship with the pivot, very narrow range, right? So the overall context of the trend, it's a downtrend, right? So it's a broken uptrend, and this is a new downtrend, right? So you're gonna get these pullbacks. So it's in a, man, I already took profit. I was gonna extend this take profit, but it already hit my target. So I'll actually explain the target as well, why I created that as the target. So the context, it's a downtrend, right? We having a pullback. So the pullback is initiated by responsive buyers, right? So responsive buyers are coming in, they're creating the support, but responsive buyers are weak hands, right? So when we start getting support, they're just accumulating price. They're not initiating a move. They actually want the price to come lower so they could accumulate more, right? So when you see price is bouncing off of this accumulations, right? Like when they accumulate here, right? And you see price bouncing up, the buys that's happening here is actually short covering, right? So that again is responsive buying because they're responding to the price moving against them, right? This is not initiative buying, right? So that's another weak hand, right? So when we start getting up to these levels and you see that initiative buyers are not stepping in, right? Initiative buyers are not stepping in. The higher value relationship is now coming into jeopardy, right? This pivot level relationship is coming into jeopardy because this setup is not, even though it's a higher value pivot level relationship, right? The setup, the context of the buying is not initiative buying, right? So even though it's moving up, this is not a sustained move. This is just short squeezing, right? So this is why I took this short position here, because I'm going with the strong hand. The strong hand is coming from initiative selling, right? So remember, the short sellers are still in profit, and all they have to do is throw some more shorts on and they could get the price to move down, right? Because there is no initiative buying really happening, right? So, and another thing is that even though these people are accumulating here, they still would like lower prices, right? So they don't mind that the shorts are actually hitting this to bring it lower, right? So you got to think about the psychology of the trades as well, right? So let's see here. Looking at the money zone is a higher value relationship, right? Now, again, can't break above the value area high. Short squeezes happening, no initiative buying, can't clear the top, right? So if it's not breaking higher, what is it going to do, right? So that's when you start taking the shorts. Let's see. Let's see, where is my entries? It's not showing the entry, it's showing here the take profit. But anyway, and let me show why this is another pivot boss concept. Let me show why I actually set this pivot. You see this right here, golden pivot zone, this yellow line right here, yellow rectangle that I created. Let me show you why I set this area as my take profit, right? So one of the theories of pivot boss, like Secrets of a Pivot Boss, that book shows you that when you have double pivot zones with a central floor pivot and a Camarilla pivot very close together, right? And let me even turn on the money zone because I think the money zone was in play here as well. Right, so when you have these levels lining up together, this green line, that's Camarillo S3, and that blue line right there, that's the central floor pivot. That's the pivot level, right? That's the middle pivot, and this is a value area high money zone level, right? So all of these things here are creating this support, right? So they bounced off of this level, and if they fail, where are they going to come back? To this level, right? So that's where I set this take profit. Now you can see buyers are here again. That's responsive buying because they're back at their level, right? Will they be able to hold that? I really don't think so. I think the trend is going to continue, but this is where they're accumulating. They're taking positions here, and it's not really a position they're taking. They're just accumulating. So the overall average would be good over time because they're going to accumulate lower as well, right? Because if I had a big bank and I started seeing around here, I want to buy some shares, right? Or I want to buy some FTM currency, right? Even though I accumulate some here, I would still want some even lower, right? Because that's going to bring my average even lower. So when it actually shoots up, I'll be good. You know what I'm saying? So you got to think about the psychology of all the players as well. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's my little trade on FTM, breaking down why I took that trade. And this is an intraday trade. Entered somewhere around here. Let's see, that was around 15.15, and took that short all the way to the golden pivot zone at 1700, right? So that's the trade right there. And shout out to Jeremy. He trades FTM. He was actually talking about this. We were talking about this on Twitter. So, you know, shout out to him as well. Let me see if I could find. Let me see if I could find him real quick. And shout out to this guy as well, David Russo. He's a great trader. Shout out to him. And that's the guy right there. You know what I mean? He posts some great trades, so you could follow him as well. Let's see. These are some of his trades. That was NVIDIA. Trying to show some of his crypto trades. Right, so that was on Phantom. So yeah, he's a great crypto trader, man. He does some awesome stuff. You know, this is Spy. So y'all could follow him on Twitter as well. And I believe he has a YouTube page as well. So let me show that as well. 1 second. Let's see. So this is his page right here. Shaggy's Chop Zone. So y'all could go follow him as well. You know what I'm saying? See, he's deciphering the trend. And this is stuff we talked about with the central floor pivots. So y'all go check out his channel as well, you know what I'm saying? Alright, y'all, so trade safe and stay blessed. It's Malak Shalomo. And that was my breakdown on FTM. And you can see that was a successful trade. Alright, y'all, trade safe and stay blessed.